Welcome to the Greatness Engineering Show, where we explore the journeys and extraordinary individual who transform challenge, into legacy and passion into purpose. Today, I'm delighted to introduce a remarkable young visionary shaping the language of fashion. Her name is Saveri Raj. She is the founder and creative director of Rose 2.11, and Rose 2.11 is more than a brand to her. And she will explain to us, the challenges that she has, the challenges that she had to create this brand at such a young age, and also explaining to us, how she pivoted from being, studying economics and pivoting into the world of fashion. So let us know where you're watching from. We are going to have, I think, a very inspiring conversation. So just let us know where you're watching from, and also participate. If you're watching live, you can, give us your insight. If you have any question for Saveri, it will be just, amazing to have you participate. And you know that this show is for you, and we always try to bring the best for you to be able to learn from their experience, from their stories. And they always share skills and tools that have worked for them, and those you can emulate and integrate it into what you're doing to go to the next level of your greatness. So let's welcome Saveri and start this an amazing conversation with her. To another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show, the show that is brought to you by the Virai Telekima Global Leadership Organization.
Real is important is if you just look at the word compassion, when it's behavior, it's something that can be learned, and it is something that we can embody through habits and through our daily action.
To get this idea that if we interject this wisdom intentionally, I call them needle movers. It's the needle mover that's missing.
Don't deprive the world of your greatness. Please. Don't do that anymore. Dare to excel, dare to be sexy, dare to be you, dare to be the best version of yourself. Impact yourself positively, and from there impact others, and you are not alone.
So welcome to the Greatness Engineering Show, Saveri. It is a pleasure to have you with us, and I'm really excited to, go deep into your story. I've read a little bit of, what you've shared with me, and just to understand, how you managed to really get into fashion and excel in what you're doing in fashion. and what was the journey, that led you to this point. But before we, embark into the conversation, just want you to add to anything that I've shared here today. So introduce yourself and let us know what's important for us to know today about you.
So, hello, and thanks for having me on the show. And I think that I would like to start off by basically talking about how I was in a completely non-related field, and I had done my graduation in that discipline. I was supposed to get a job related to that, but I just felt like it was not my thing. So I was just open about it with my parents that I would like to study fashion, and I was lucky enough to get accepted at Istituto Marangoni Milan campus. So I was fortunate to have the best of faculty that passed down skills to me, and I think that the precision and all the hallmarks of a good brand that probably reflect in my brand now are my learnings from Milan, and obviously my other experiences in India as well, my time interning for other brands, working as a junior designer. And I think it happened quite organically. I thought that there was no point just going on and doing what others expect me to do just for the sake of it, just so that what I do is considered respectable in the mainstream. Because fashion is not a very stable career, and it's not a very remunerative one either. You have to be extremely passionate, and also having a safety net helps, to be very honest. And I was fortunate enough to have it. I was fortunate enough to have it. My parents supported me through unpaid internships, and I'm very grateful to them for all their support and for all the learnings along the journey. It's not just my journey as a designer, but also as a person stepping into something at the age of 23, 24, um, just changing your career trajectory completely at that age, and seeing your peers settle in nice jobs, and seeing that their lives are headed in some fixed direction. It was unnerving, but then I went for it because I was very keen to do it, and I felt like this is something I could do, and it turns
Mhm.
out that it was. So that's the gist of it.
And I'm actually very curious because it's, yes, you said you had the support of your parents, and you needed a safety net before, because fashion obviously is very competitive, and especially in a country like India where it is a big thing. So what are the key lesson that you've learned so far from switching from the being doing your studies, understanding that you're not meant to this, and then doing some internship, that were not, obviously you were not earning money when you were doing this internship. So what were, do you think, the key challenge through that period before you basically step up with your brand?
So there were a number of times when I was told by people around me that maybe now it's time for me to start my own brand. But I did not feel that prepared. I felt like there was still a lot to learn. And to be honest, one never feels 100% prepared. But I think I was in a good place in terms of technical skills and work experience backing me by the end of 2023. So that's when I started my brand. And I have no qualms admitting that I was not 100% prepared. I was not prepared for the legal compliances, for the accounting hassles that would pop up in the course of starting the brand. Because initially, I think that everybody starts small, and they are looking after a lot of other things than their core competency. I have been looking after a lot of things other than the design and the design language of the brand. I've been looking at accounting, social media, and compliances. And getting our stuff across to stores, getting our garment sourced to celebrities, influencers. So you can never be 100% prepared. So I would just say that, when you feel like you have learned enough, that would be a good time to start. And another thing is that I used to be quite anxious about things not happening according to a particular timeline. So when I sat down to think about it, I realized that all these timelines are made up. They are assigned to you by society, and you just try to stick to it to please society. And I just think that it doesn't serve me, so I don't really follow all these timelines. Say for example, by such and such age you should be married, by such and such age you should have a house. I feel that everybody's journey is different, and um, I feel like I have learned a lot during mine. It's been quite unnerving mentally. It has strengthened me. It has made me less reactive to hiccups in life, and it has taught me to take things in my stride, things not going my way. And it has also taught me how to live with uncertainty.
Mhm. Yeah. And that's important, what you said is that, what I could hear is that, you have your own journey, basically. You don't have to follow what, people, maybe your parents, your family, your friend, or society, your communities, want you to do, like, at this age, you have to do this, you should be studying this, and you should become a doctor, and you should become this. So it is important to have your own, and understand that you are, an individual, and you can actually just follow your own path, and that your path will be different from, anybody so far. And so, but it can be, you say it, but it can be very difficult, especially, if in, in such an environment where things are going, there's a lot of presence online where, people, you see people, and some of, especially as a young person, they want to emulate some people to be able to find their place. So and in fashion as well, the things are going, the trend are really fast, and there is overconsumption. So how do you remain committed to, to timelessness, be focused on, on your own craft, and really have something sustainable, in the environment where you actually operate?
So I think there are many dimensions to sustainability. It's not just about using sustainable materials. It's also about the kind of business model you follow. Um, for example, we don't hold a lot of inventory. We like to make things to order, so as to minimize overconsumption, wastage, and that way I think that it serves everyone better, the final consumer, us, uh, because it's very it becomes customized. It's not off the rack, it's not according to some standard measurements, of course sparing the orders that come to us through our website. uh, but others are free to actually get the fit that they would like. So and that's one aspect of it. And I would also like to talk about ethical pay and ethical working conditions. So a lot of people sometimes they come up to me and they say that, we like your work, but the pricing doesn't work for us.
Mhm.
Well, I think that it's there's a misconception prevalent, according to which the charges of making something are very, very astronomically low, and the designers are charging extra high markups. So I would like to clear the air on that. First of all, it's not really possible for us to charge astronomical margins, because we have not been in the market that long. Our
Mhm.
name does not carry that recognition value, or so to say brand value. And the other thing being that it's also the higher cost and higher prices that we pass on to the consumer is because we are making sure that production is ethical. It is not depriving somebody of basic human dignity. It is not depriving somebody of basic human rights. I'm not here to run a sweatshop. I don't want to be a participant of that kind of exploitation that goes down at many of the fashion giants, particularly fast fashion joints, where people have to seek permission to visit the restroom, and their water breaks are also measured. I don't think that creativity can thrive in such an environment, and I don't think that production can reach its highest quality. I don't think we can have that level of craftsmanship if we are being that exploitative in general, having a complete disregard for basic human rights.
Mhm. Mhm. And it is important, and I like what you're saying. Is yes, you are in business. Yes, it's your passion, but you have to you actually make sure that you take into account human rights. You take into account being able to empower your community, because it's not about just making money and charging as a high price. It's also about because yesterday we spoke a lot about legacy with my other my guest, and I think it's also from what you say about the legacy and about the impact you're creating in the life of your customers, making sure that they're happy and making sure that they don't see you as a negative influence or as someone who want to make profit from them. So and I think that's probably the difficult part, because being a young entrepreneur, obviously there are some needs that you have, but it must be very difficult to balance as well the needs of your customer, like as you described just like now. So how do you eh, because you probably come across people who are more experienced than you. So how do you manage that aspect, in terms of, the relationship with people that are already more experienced or more aggressive on the market? How do you, what are the tools or the strategies that you use to manage that?
I feel that fortunately my product is unique enough to stand out on its own, and I feel that there are so many good homegrown designers in India right now doing absolutely beautiful work, and I feel that I just don't see myself being that out and out competitive, because I feel that everybody has their own niche and I have my own. And I feel that we are on the way to be a dominant player in that niche. So I personally don't like pitting myself against others. I just like to do better than I did yesterday, and I feel that there's just so much to learn from my seniors or peers, as the case may be, and sometimes you even learn from the most junior members of the team, from interns. So I think that learning is always a very, very positive side of being in this field. You get to experience so much, and you get to. I'm fortunate to be always seeing beauty on my Instagram feed and actually
Yeah.
creating beautiful things for a living.
Yeah. So I mean it's beautiful like you're saying, because at the end of the day, what like you said is, we each have our own niche, and it is important to stay true to yourself. You don't want to lose yourself by competing with other, or trying to to copy others. It's just expressing yourself, and get to attract the people that are resonating with what you're doing. So we're going to have a break, and then we will be back to continue this conversation. For those joining us today, my guest is based in India, and her name is Saveri, and she is a fashion designer, and she has an amazing story. She has her own brand. She launched Rose 2.11 in 2023, and she's trailblazing her own journey right now in the fashion industry. So don't go anywhere. We will be back in few minutes.
I'm from Hammond, Louisiana, which is about 30 minutes outside of New Orleans.
Our end thing is love, community, and never forget about the people that paved the way.
Art is the only medium to help us understand that there is a lot more to life than fight.
Whatever you do in your personal life trickles into your business life. And a lot of times people fail in business because they have not succeeded in life.
I want to be able to be contributing, one of those guys that really are doing significant work to better the lives of people.
Every change is linked to a consciousness raising, and change is conscious. And if you want to change something in your life, start with your breathing. Start to work on your breathing.
Leave something for people to learn from. You know, make a video, write a book, teach, go around, teach the younger generation or the next generation to help them become or follow the path that you've been.
To another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show, the show that is brought to you by the Birai Telekima Global Leadership Organization.
You know, when I left Disney, I met lots of people who are entrepreneurs and just said, look, I'm starting. What advice do you have for us? And I got some great advice. And there was a few things that were key. First of all, and as you saw in the video there, keep it simple. Be simple about what problems you solve.
But what are you hoping for? That means that there's a future. That means that there's something that you yet still need to be realized and materialized in your life. And if you have lost hope and you're not hoping for something, that means you're lost. So we need to get you back to the place of being able to hope again.
You know, trust the process. So many times we get stuck and paralyzed from taking the first step and taking action to get out of that transactional to the transformational of our own lives because we're afraid. But trust the process. Take that one little microscopic step. And I tell you that once you do that, that will increase into another step and another step and another step. So that's what I'd like to leave with you today.
My message for today is delay is not denial. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to accomplish what it is you want to accomplish in life. Do not stop until you get what it is you know God has for you.
So we are back with Saveri, and just to continue to understand, for her to share her journey, understand the challenges and how she has managed to build a brand and continue to make an impact in her community and also globally, because I could see that you've actually been exposed to the global stage as a designer. And one of the questions that I wanted to ask you is, what does presenting on a global stage, mean for you and for your vision of your brand? How is it helping you so far?
I'm often told that my clothes are more suitable for European cities or for North American places. But I feel that they are not taking into account the sizable portion of Gen Z, which will by 2023, 2020, 2030 comprise around 25% of the market by purchasing power. So I feel that they resonate a lot with my stuff, and not just them, but even people who are older, but who have that eye for something different, who want to stand out. So, for example, there was this very nice NRI lady, non-resident Indian, that I met at a pop up in Mumbai. So I think that she must have been around 60, but since it seemed that she followed fashion closely. She stated that her favorite designer was Tom Brown. So I think that's why she was able to relate with the clothing, and she picked up one of the London Fashion Week garments. So I feel that I feel that if you do something with love, the outcome will be no doubt good.
And that's important, to do something you love. Something I mean, we've talked about it before the break, that something that is, that really represent you, that really speak, give you a voice, because at the end of the day, this is about your voice, through what you're doing, through fashion. And I've managed to see some of your design here. I'm going to try to show them some of the design that you have. There's, a few that are really, very, very, really, related to, the young and you know, midlife type of woman. And so, what try to what I really wanted to know is, try to actually give us a little bit about, how you end up creating those designs, from the conception to all the different steps, to be able to create something so beautiful at the end. So what are the different steps and the key thing that you need to do?
I feel that first off, you need to be prepared that a lot of times the experimentation or the final outcome that you have in mind will be quite different from from what the actual final outcome is. And sometimes it's actually better than what you had conceived, but you have to be prepared for the eventuality that it is not better than what you conceived. So I think the biggest thing is that I think the reason that many people have a creative block is because they are scared. What if what we make is not beautiful enough? I think that first thing to do is to take that pressure off of you, and then I sit down and whatever I'm feeling, because I like to explore psycho-existential themes in my work. So whatever is running through my mind, I jot it down on a piece of paper and I do a complete mind mapping, first of words, and then I move on to tactile references, color references, any historical references, movie references, text references. So the creative process is basically exploring and researching in the first step. After you sit down, after you do the mind mapping, after extensive research, you kind of know what is the general direction that you are headed in, and what you would like to explore. The possibilities are infinite, because I could take the same theme as some other designer and have a completely different interpretation. Because ultimately it's unique to me. It's perspective, it's my take. So I feel that once you are clear about the direction you're headed in, then you do the technical research about garment construction, fabrics, and then you get into the technical test fit making, and then the final garment making, and then making it palatable, making it presentable, because presentation matters a lot. I think with the cutthroat market that we have now, it just won't suffice to put the clothes on on a hanger and post the pictures on Instagram. People are now very clever consumers, and they want to be very sure of their purchase. They want to see different angles. Sometimes I get queries about uh, if, say for example, a certain outfit, somebody is not sure how the back looks, they ask for pictures of the back. People are very aware now, and I think it's the result of e-commerce being there for many years now. And those incidents wherein people would order something and something else would arrive, I think that that doesn't happen anymore, because people are just a lot more prepared and a lot more
Mm-hmm.
aware.
Mm-hmm. So do you sell more online, or do you actually sell, on in a shop? Do you have shops in India? And so how are you marketing your product?
We sell through other online portals, which list other designers also, multi-designer platforms and multi-designer stores. Currently, I don't have a store of my own flagship store. Uh, Hopefully, one day. And mostly the sales right now, they are coming through the pop-ups uh, that we do, the exhibitions. Sometimes there are custom pieces also, like an old client uh, who I'm familiar with socially. They will tell me that I have such and such event, and I would like to wear something like this. They will show me some reference, and then I, of course, give them suggestions, and we put our heads together. We work on something custom. So that's also something that I do, besides the usual collections which are available on the website and in stores.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, I mean, as a now, because yes, you have a designer, but at the end of the day, you are also an entrepreneur. So, how are you handling, the creative direction, the logistic, the branding, and everything? So, how do you balance that? How do you balance the artistic side of the fashion with the business side of the fashion? Because at the end of the day, you are a business, you're doing business. So there's obviously the creative part which needs to be there, but also the fashion, the business side as well. How do you balance that?
I think that there's no hard and fast rule for me. I I basically, when working on a new collection or some assignment or some custom outfit, then I invest my time in designing more. And when I'm not working on a new collection or doing some other project, then most of my time is invested in the business aspect of things. And sometimes when I'm in the middle of sampling a new production, I have to parallelly do both, and it can become quite exhausting,
Mm-hmm.
but you just have to do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and do
That's
you
the
have a big team, or how is it, working? Obviously, starting, like you said, it's a new brand. You started in 2023, so you can't do everything. So, how do you work? Do you have a new team? Do you have a full-time team, or do you work with consultants, or how is it organized?
For the production and sampling, I have a staff of pattern master, tailors, and I, of course, do the designing. They carry out my vision. As for other things, I am the nodal point for contact for all these, say, my accountant or a store or a stylist reaching out to source a garment. So I do have consultants and people who I work with, but they are not on my payroll, so to say. They
Okay, so
either
so
work on
it's
a
mainly
commission basis,
consultant,
or
basically.
they either work on a commission basis, or by sharing proceeds of sales.
Because that's what I was, I was really curious because at the beginning, I know you said, you had the support of your parents, but still, you need you can't be everywhere, you have, like I said, to balance the artistic side, which is what you really do, and then the business side, and then know exactly who can support you in this in this regard. So we're gonna have another break, and we will come back to just with the last part of the show, just understanding what's next, and also what is the learning that you want to share, especially for the young people who are watching us, the young people who want to emulate what you're doing so far. So for the audience, don't go anywhere. We will be back in few minutes, and just to see what's next for Saveri as she continued to grow her brand.
I am Mayor Kashina A. Cross from the city of Glen Arden, Maryland, born and bred all the way from Aberdeen, Mississippi. So joining the big M's. I am a retired Air Force officer from the United States Air Force, 20 years served, 5 combat tours to war, from the Department of Defense and project management and philanthropy. I've also held roles in cyber networks, also all source intelligence, worked with airframes of different types. And I'm going to tell you, the greatest challenge I've met thus far and the greatest success story that I have is leading the city of Glen Arden as a mayor. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you get to be an impact agent in the lives of those that need it most. And I'm going to tell you, it's nothing greater than the service that comes with the whole office, if you will, of serving as a public servant.
When people think about retirement, Marae, they think about somebody in their 60s and 70s and 80s. When you say retirement, and so when I talk to young people, they almost like disconnect from, well, I'm not ready to retire. And I'm thinking, well, what age? Let's change that word, retirement. What age do you want to stop working actively for your income and have your income work for you?
I was in a car accident, unfortunately, and it left me unable to walk for 2 weeks. And this actually happened my last year of college. So I was put at a fork in the road, and I had a choice. I could either continue with my education and see what comes next, or I could, take a break or just all out quit. And I truly believe that what you do with your situations, with your limitations, with what God throws at you, really, really makes a difference in your life. It can make a positive impact, or it can make a negative impact. So what I did is I continued forward. And
the great Dr. Willie Jolly once said, a setback is just a setup for a comeback. We've had a lot of setbacks over these last many months, and it may have gotten you to the point where you don't think a comeback is ever possible. But I'm here to tell you, it's never too late.
And my key message, I feel, is that taking care of your own happiness and well-being and prioritizing self-care should be a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. We need to stop having unrealistic expectations for ourselves, for our employees and loved ones and people around us. Because everyone is unique, everyone has their own unique journey, and acceptance of self and others is the key to happiness. It is to start carving these activities in your life that will nourish your mind, body, and spirit, not just the body.
You are an original. You don't have to worry about what anybody else is doing. I've had so many people try to mimic or duplicate what I'm doing, and I don't have a problem with that. And I'll tell you why. Because if God didn't give them the exact same vision, it may work, but it won't work like the vision He gave me. So it's really not competition, it's something else. So don't let fear or competition stop you from going forward.
One quote that I always would love to share with everybody is no pain, no gain. So don't brood over your challenges, don't cry, just wake up, rise up like the phoenix, keep flying from the ashes, and you will attain what you need to attain. You are born for a purpose, and you have to fulfill the purpose before you hit the bucket.
So plan it, see it, anticipate it, plan what it is that you want to do, plan where you want to go, see it in your mind, visualize it, and then anticipate it. Know that it's going to happen.
So we are back. We are back with Saveri, and one of the thing that one of the question that I really want to ask you, Saveri, today is for those young, many young creative dream of starting their own label, just like you, but there is fear of the challenges ahead. And so what would be the advice that you will give to aspiring designer who want to build something meaningful and also something sustainable so far?
I think first off, it's important to master a technical aspect related to fashion. The business aspect you can pick up by way of working as you go. Um, but being very thorough technically is very important so that say for example, how much fabric you need to order to produce 10 quantities of the same style. I should be able to do that math quickly in my mind, and so that's just one instance, and it helps to be technically sound. So, and the other thing is, you have to be absolutely sure about being prepared for a lot of uncertainty and possibly failure. You have to have nerves of steel. You should just stop listening to what others are saying. Yeah, you should not be that concerned about the opinions of others. Only if you're thick-skinned enough. Only if you can. Uh, not compare yourself to others, should you choose this, because right from the time that you start studying to be a designer, there's always the question of, will I make more than I have spent on my education to become a designer, or the money that was spent and that I had to spend while I was doing my unpaid internship, because wages have not grown that much in the fashion sector. They are still at the levels that they were 10 years ago. This is a problem. People are underpaid and it's glorified. So there are some fundamental changes that need to come about, but that's a separate topic. So I would and you have to be prepared for a lot of uncertainty. You don't know how the collection will be received. You don't know. Sometimes what happens is also that you, while designing, you did not like something that much. Say it was your least favorite amongst all the other styles, but that's the one that gets picked up by customers the most. And and then I get the urge to make the clothes, design the clothes as if you were the client. But then you when you are professionally working and you have your own brand, you have to uh, understand consumer preferences also. And by that I don't mean that you should blindly follow all the trends, because trends are rather fleeting, but a broad understanding of what people are preferring. And I think that consistency is the third thing. First being technical knowledge, second being thick skin enough to and be ready, being ready for handling uncertainty. And lastly, I think you have to be consistent enough. There are some very, very difficult days when I don't feel like working, but and to be honest, I'm not even working on my at my 100%. Sometimes it's 80, sometimes it's 40. uh, but cumulatively they come out to be a lot. Every day matters, even that 10% day matters, even that 40% day matters. So consistency is key. And be kind to yourself in the process, that I cannot always be functioning at my 100%. I'm a human being, not a machine, and even machines experience wear and tear. So we are humans, we need rest, we need rejuvenation. And sometimes, and we cannot always have the same level of output, but we have to try and be consistent.
And that's important. And I like the fact that you said, even when we are at our 40%, we have to keep going. It's the consistency. We have to, show up every single day to make sure that, we continue to progress and to grow. So very, very, wise and important message for whoever is a young, aspiring designer. So how do people connect with you if they want to? Obviously, in 1 hour, it's very difficult to talk about everything. So how do people connect about you if they want to know a little bit more about your story, or if they want to buy your design as well? Because so just let us know how we can connect and how we can access your designs as well.
The designs are available on our website. We ship globally, uh, and the website is yeah, that's the website, the one that's being flashed. And we are also there on Instagram. Uh, and I have my personal Instagram too. If somebody would like to connect with me, it's also there on the brand's Instagram profile. The link to my profile.
Okay, all right. So if you want to get access to the brand, so you'll take a note. So the website, rose211.com, and also the Instagram as well under rose2.11. So just, whoever is watching, whoever is going to watch this conversation, reach out to Saveri and understand, her story. And if you want to see her work, you get access to it online via the website of a company and also the Instagram of a company. So thank you so much, Saveri, for being with us today. It has been very inspiring to listen to your story, and also very insightful to understand, what are the challenges and how you've been traveling so far as a designer, and the impact that you are creating, in India, through your brand, but also internationally with, the exposure that you had so far. And I just hope that, I will have access to, your design, and see if I can, I hope you can deliver all the way to Australia, because I've actually looked at the design, before the show, and I was quite impressed, and I like a few of the designs. So you have gained a customer here, and you will definitely hear about me. So thank you very much again for your time. We will be back for another episode of the Greatness Engineering, the Greatness Show, in 2 weeks' time, because we're gonna have two guests from the US. And one of the guests is has an interesting story, having a cassava business. So it's going to be something very interesting. So thanks again, Saveri, for your time. And for the audience, we see you next time for another episode of the Greatness Engineering Show. Thank you very much for everything.
Thank you.